fine young people are here with me today who are in the theater program, have been in the theater program at Central High School, and got an opportunity that you had earned through earning points to get to go to nationals. And that's what I want to pick your brain about and let our audience know. And Sean Gibbons, who has now graduated and is going on to the great theater department at ASU,
right,
which many people in this town love to go to the productions at ASU. And Andrea Perez is, we have you another year at Central. You all have done with Ms. Laura Smith at Central a serious drama, and you've done musicals, and I have just thoroughly enjoyed seeing how much diversity you have in playing a lot of different kinds of roles. But I want our audience to really know, first off, how did you earn points as a thespian, and what is a thespian?
All right. The Thespian Society is just a sort of a national thing where each school, like theater department, will induct them, and it's something that gets them into the sort of national community of theater folk.
Theater folk. Yes. And you then earn. Now talk about the points you had to accumulate in order to get invited to nationals.
Well, the points are sort of separate, don't have anything to do with nationals. The points are every time you do anything in theater, you participate in a show or you take a show or anything like that, you get some sort of points, and they accumulate at the end of the year.
Okay.
You become a sort of different level of a thespian. But for internationals, or nationals, at the Texas State Thespian Festival, anybody who goes there with a performance, group musical like we did, or solo group musical, that's not the thing, or solo duets or monologues, stuff like that. You go over there, do that competition, and depending on how you do, how far you rank up there, you might get the shot to head over to nationals.
All right, the state one was where and when?
It was in Dallas, Texas, at the Omni Hotel.
In November. Right? Yeah.
Okay. And so you all have known for a while you qualified.
Yes.
And then, now when did you go to nationals?
The last week of June, right?
22nd through 28th.
And how many of you went?
Oh, a bunch of us. From our group, our group musical, there were about
15 students.
15 students, and then we had a couple of solo musicals, Michaela and Caitlin doing, right?
Michaela and Leanne and Ashley.
And Ashley, they did this duet.
Okay. And you all traveled to
Lincoln, Nebraska.
And I bet none of you had ever been there. And you were there how long?
About a solid week, right?
A week, yeah.
And you participated and tried out for different things, or just performed?
Well, it was like a larger scale of the state festival. There was plenty of workshops going on all the time that you could go to. Different classes. Then there was always the competitions that were being held, the callbacks. When you qualify for national, they had to see all of the performances again to see who went into the finals. And there was also auditions. There's college and scholarship auditions that take place there also.
Tell our audience what kind of performances you all did, and the rest of your group. Give us an example. You've already said some did solos, and then there were duets.
Was a duet group,
And then what did you all do?
Well, our group of about 15 did a musical piece from the musical Jekyll and Hyde, the opening number called Facade. And it's just a group musical. You just have a group do a musical piece, and the audience just does it on just that.
All right, are you in costume?
No. That's the whole thing. It's the rules that you have to be in all black, and there's no props, no costumes. It's all just you.
And is your accompaniment taped?
Yeah, it's a tape CD, MP3 file.
And so about how long, minute-wise, was your piece?
It was about 3 or 4 minutes, something like that.
4 and a half.
And how well did you do?
Oh,
well, State Thespian, we made it to main stage. We ranked the top score overall in the state of Texas. Number one. So we got to perform it in front of the whole festival, which is awesome. And so
was
then
it about 4,000 people?
4,000 people, yeah. And then in internationals, we made second. So that was pretty awesome out of 28 out of the whole.
Very awesome. So was internationals in Lincoln, Nebraska? Is that what that was called?
That's right.
So young people, very talented young people, first of all, who get there, competed, and you all came in at such a high rating. Did you, and I asked you this prior to the interview, did you know what to expect? Because it's been a while since Central has qualified a group to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we didn't, none of us knew. There was students probably before that already known because they had been to internationals, but we had no idea. None of it, we're all fresh.
Had been there.
Yeah, so we were just kind of like, we had no idea what to expect.
Well, when you more than likely will get an opportunity to do this again because you've learned a lot now. Mm-hmm. So will it give you experience that then you can build on to take it to the next level next year, do you think? What is something you learned by participating in this?
Well, I learned a lot in just the musical wise because we weren't allowed to have props or costumes and everything. It was just so raw because even all of the ones that we saw, it was just, they had to make you believe you were watching like a musical, be really captivated by it with just you, and just you had to really go through a lot of, not experiences, but you had to do lots of thinking
make it as
and
personal as you can. So
just to try to convey it to the audience as much because you really don't have anything to show it.
I guess you gotta rely on yourself and the people around you.
Yeah.
100%.
And so that was just a different experience that I had never really had, you know.
So I can tell by both of you that it was an absolutely priceless. There's no amount of money that could have bought that. You got to experience something that very few people in San Angelo have experienced, and were not only very successful, but came back pumped, not only for you to head off into the next phase of your life, Sean, and you to be a leader as a senior at Central. How many of your group will be returning to Central next year that y'all will be your nucleus?
I would say about...
Well, less than half of our group musical have just graduated, so they're still good,
okay,
solid.
a nice
a
cluster that can be the leaders for the underclassmen.
Oh, yeah.
You both have been in theater for a long time. What if a parent or a guardian, grandparent was watching? Give us, both of you, Andrea, you start. What are the takeaways, the gifts that you feel you have gotten from being a part of the theater program at Central?
It helps you in a lot of things. It's really hard to explain because there's so many different aspects of theater, all of it. And it just prepares you for a lot of things, and I don't know how to explain.
What about confidence, if I might just add?
Yes. That gives you lots of confidence because you have to be really confident with yourself to go on stage and perform in front of lots of strangers and lots of people, and it helps you in real life when you're just out and about. I have built up a lot of confidence over the years being in theater.
And what about, and Sean, let me give you a shot, and then
sure.
I'll throw out a couple of other things that I observe young people who participate in theater, the gifts from it. But you tell me your opinion about how it's helped you. What
takeaway? Well, for me, it's been something that I've been able to get personal with, and that I could just be really in touch with. For me, big thing is I can have really personal relationships with people around me, and I can have the idea of the art itself, and just that I'm participating in something really closely that can mean something a lot to me. Storytelling, Like,
Storytelling.
like when I grew up, I was always like watching movies and stuff like Star Wars was always the biggest part of my life. So when I had the chance to actually take a part in storytelling, it was the thing that gave me confidence that my imagination had some, validity. And I could have the conviction to follow that because I see people like her also doing that.
You mostly have to be able to work with a team.
Oh yeah.
There are a few one-man, one-woman shows, but that's not the norm.
Very
Right,
niche.
very few.
Yeah, so I have watched young people gain confidence that spreads over into all the parts of your life, Andrea, and you all have had to work hard. People in the theater, in a school, particularly college or undergraduates, they have to, they work hard, long hours, or you aren't successful. It's not a successful show. You can't just snap your finger. So I really believe those are the things I've watched young people gain confidence, learn to work with others, and support each other and encourage each other,
Yes.
as well as take feedback. If you can't take feedback,
That's a
you
big
can't
thing.
stay
That's a
in
big
it.
thing.
Yeah. All right, each of you now tell me, do you enjoy, if you have a favorite type of theater, what would it be?
Definitely absurd theater, because oh goodness, absurd theater, it's not very, people aren't really exposed to absurd theater that much, and
Would you
But it's been
define
around so
it?
long. Yeah, go ahead, define it.
you define it.
Okay, well,
Absurd.
absurd is just. Oh, that's hard. Abstract.
Yeah, abstract.
Abstract,
Okay.
abstract and the mundane, whimsical, but
Okay.
silly and all that sort of stuff.
Okay.
Where
And
it's
did
like-
you do anything absurd theater during the course of this last year?
Yes, we did,
did.
actually.
Give me an example.
Sean, we do student directed at Central, and some students are selected to have their own play produced at Central, and it's all student directed. And Sean did a play called Waiting for Godot by Samuel Beckett.
Yes, yes,
Old
yes.
classic.
And he did an all-woman show of it, and I played Estragon, and it's one of the top absurd plays, and it's
Yeah, I wanted to do that for a long time. Smiths wanted to do that for a long time, so this was.
Well,
George's
nice,
chance to
and
do it.
and most of us are familiar with that. Okay, what would you say to parents or young people watching this as to encourage them to try theater? Because they can take a class. Unlike at the middle school level, this is a new opportunity once you get to the high school. So what would you say to them to encourage them to try theater if they have any desire? Because it's an elective, isn't it?
Yeah, you gotta want to do it.
Yes, yes. Could you say, tell a young person why they ought to give it a shot?
Well, I would say if you've ever wanted to make something, if you've ever wanted to have something tangible
be a part of it.
and like have a team, you've wanted to make something, you've ever had something in your imagination you've wanted to put up there for people to see, for you to see, like make it real. That's the way to do it. That's the way it was for me, and I think it's a lot for a lot of other people to make something imaginative tangible.
Well, you are delightful young people, and I hope our audience will go to our high schools as well as our great local college and watch the theater, because it enriches our lives to see good theater, whether it's drama or has music tied to it. And we are so proud for not only you earning the right to go, the privilege to go, but how successful you were. And Ms. Smith was so proud of y'all's behavior. You represented our city and our school to such a fine degree. You made us proud.
I hope
So we want you, Andrea, to go back And we will be there to support them, won't we, Sean?
That's right.
Yes. Thank y'all so much for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much.